Okay, hey, welcome to the Friday live stream, everybody. I am Craig. I'm trying a little bit of a new setup here today, so let me know if you can't hear me. Oh man, that lighting is very dramatic, isn't it? Oh well, we're going for effect, okay? So, yeah, welcome everybody. Socrates, Landon. I think the Landon's comment came in like on Wednesday, so I hope you're still here, Landon. And Socrates, welcome. Good afternoon. You must be Central or Eastern time, I would guess. Oh, can't hear or see me. Oh, no. Oh, you can hear. Okay. Tatiana, you can hear me. Everybody can hear me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope it's working. Okay. Oh, boy, I don't know if I could even approach that name. You must be Irish. Ian? I'm going to go with Ian on that one. So, welcome, everybody. I'm sorry. I apologize for all those who joined the stream later on. Today, we are talking about budget streaming devices. This was the topic of my video released earlier this week, and we're going to kind of chat a little bit more about it together. As we do, I do just want to remind everybody that you can go to reviews.org/giveaways. There, you can see it right there in the corner. Go to reviews.org/giveaways. Scottish Gaelic. Okay. Yeah, I'm still going with Ian. That's the only one I am crossing my fingers that I'm getting right on that name there. Anyway, yeah, reviews.org/giveaways. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so last week we gave away, or I guess we are going to give away a Wyze Cam 2. I believe that's an indoor camera. We gave away a couple outdoor cameras. This was, I think I'm getting this right. This one was an indoor camera, and we had a few entrants for that. But the winner of the Wyze Cam 2 is Tom Reeves. Tom Reeves, welcome to Winnerhood. Glad that your name was drawn out of the hat. All right. And this week, well, we're going to talk about what we'll give away this week. But Tom Reeves, well done. Yeah, expect an email shortly. So I thought this week we might do something a little bit different than normal, which is, usually it's just me talking into the microphone. So let's see. Socrates can't see or hear me yet. That's very, very strange. Okay, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to check this out, see if I can see or hear myself on YouTube. I'm going to cheat and watch my own stream. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like I'm coming in. Let's see. Ian? Okay. All right. Can't see or hear me. So it seems like some can see me and some can hear me. Others can't. So I'll tell you what. We're going to... this might take a little bit more testing. Okay, hang on just a second. Let's see. Audio avatar. Okay, here we go. All right, hold on just a moment, everybody. All right. Yeah, seems like some people can hear me. Okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna run with it. I'm hoping it's working. People will definitely let me know if there are real problems as we go forward. Socrates, I'm sorry if you're having trouble hearing me, but it seems like it seems like it's working for most people. So I was going to make a little change, but I'll hold off. So yeah, I thought I'd do something a little different here today. How'd you guys like a little stream music as we go? Oh, okay. Right. Relaxing at first. Nice. Yeah, we'll do a little stream music. So if it gets distracting, let me know. But, as I go back and watch my old streams, I'm like, yeah, it's a little... it could use some music. So anyway, this week, like I said, we're talking about budget streamers, which ones are worth it, if budget streamers are worth it at all, those kinds of questions. And so as we move forward, what I want to hear from you is if there are any budget streamers you want to include in this conversation. So, I'm thinking I've already got Roku devices. I've got Fire Sticks. We did the on-streaming device. The on-streaming devices. There's a stick and a box from Walmart. Reviewed those this week on the channel, so make sure you check that out if you haven't yet. Like and subscribe. And let's see, Chromecast with Google TV. That one is kind of a borderline budget device, and we'll talk about that as well. What's the definition of a budget device? How do these things all work? How do the definitions work anyway? So let me know in the comments what your preferred devices are. Let's see. I'm getting a Fire Stick Lite from Psychotic Shine. I don't know what that. That's a funny name. All right, Fire TV Stick Lite. That's a good one. Okay. So let's get rid of that for now. We'll bring it back in a bit. Oh, you know what? No, I am going to put it back. You should all go to reviews.org/giveaways because this week's giveaway is going to be the Walmart on streaming devices, the ONN period. That's their branding, ONN period. It's the on stick, and the on box. What a horrible name. It's a terrible name, but that's what we're going with. Anyway, I reviewed those on the channel earlier this week. I'm going to be giving both of those away. So please go to reviews.org/giveaways and make sure you enter that giveaway. Okay, so let's see. In fact, I'll just type it out now. Reviews.org/giveaways. Everybody go. I hope it gives you a link. I didn't put the HTTP in there, so oh well. Now that we're done with that, all right, let's go to. Oh, in fact, you know what? Let's make that the first thing we talk about. Okay, so for our live stream, first thing we'll talk about is the on devices. All right, so as let's use this as a chance to talk about what a budget streaming device is, what counts as a budget streaming device, what doesn't. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. My thought is, if it's $50 or less, it's a budget streaming device. How does that sound? $50 or less. You could go down to, I don't know, 40 or 30, but where do we draw the line? Because there are a lot of devices that are more expensive than that. $50 seems like a good cutoff point for me. But let me know what you think. Let's see. Would my phone be considered a streaming device? Asks Ian. I use it to I remembered. I use it to stream all my services that I stream on my services that I use. Okay, so would a phone be considered a streaming device? Yes. Hardly a budget streaming device. I mean, unless you've got a very cheap phone, but I doubt that's the case. So yeah, maybe if you had like a very, very cheap phone, that would work, but no. So what I'm talking about here is the devices that turn your TV into a streamer. Okay, so everything from the Roku Express to the NVIDIA Shield, right? Those are all streaming devices. Today we're just, of course, talking about the budget ones. Let's see. So other devices you people are talking about. Let's see. Roku Smart Bar or Roku Express, Roku Streaming Stick. Okay. On box is better than off box, I suppose. You got me there. Let's see. John says your live stream looks clearer than usual. I don't know. I don't. Well, I will say last week I was on the road. I was using hotel Wi-Fi and like a laptop camera, which was not great. But hey, the live streams can still be fun, even if it's not crystal clear quality. We can still have fun on them. So my stream this week is that I'm actually back in my studio. So thank goodness. Let's see, Fire Stick or Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if I understand that, but Fire Stick, we'll definitely talk about that. Let's see, who else do we got? $50 or less is a deal. Some people think so, others don't. Let's see. So Marshall, yep, that's what's on the screen right now is the Walmart brand Android TV streaming devices. Yep. Oh, interesting. So, Richie, I think what you're giving me here is a definition of a streaming device. Should have a responsive UI with options to stream most of the stations. Is that what you're? Is this a definition of a streamer? Tivo Stream 4K, definitely got that one on there. That's a good one. Ooh, okay. Old Turtle. First of all, fantastic moniker. A budget device is the TV itself. This is a great point. So it's not what we're going to talk about today, but yeah, it's kind of a good point where you've got like the TV next to me. I've got an old. I mean, it's a 2-3 year old TCL Roku TV. And I don't need a streaming device for that. I do have several plugged in because, you know, I test them all the time. And I find myself drifting toward the Chromecast more often than not, but it's a budget TV and it's got a streaming device built right in. So in a way, that's a budget streaming device. So $50 is fair, not really cheap though. That's kind of where my brain is at too. It's not necessarily a cheap device, but is there a difference in your mind? Like in my mind, when I hear budget versus cheap, those are two kind of different things. A budget device is something that, frankly, that you can fit into your budget. A cheap device is like something on the lowest end. Let's see. The Apple TV Gen 1. There you go, Walter. Apple TV Gen 1 would definitely now be a budget streaming device, mostly because it's a brick, right? It's a total brick. We're waiting. Don't worry. The bombing runs, I'm sure, will come. Go Mariners. Steven, I don't know if you were here. I think it was 3 weeks ago. I did a live stream on the road from Seattle where I went to their grand reopening day, post-COVID reopening day. It was a lot of fun. All right, let's see. Okay. So here we go. Electron Creations. If you can afford $50, it's a deal. If not, it's not a deal. Well, hey, there you go. But you know, we gotta find the kind of the lowest common denominator. So I thought about this one. I've been using the Xiaomi TV stick for a year. For basic 1080p, it does the job pretty well. You know what? I'm actually gonna look it up. I looked up the box. Xiaomi stick. Let's see what they're charging for that. Okay, so right now you can get that one on B&H for $45, $50. So it looks like it's going for about $45 or $50 right now. So yeah, Xiaomi stick, that might be a good one for us to talk about today. Let's see. Does Walmart have tech support? Okay, you know what? This is great. This is a great one. Let's go ahead and start talking. We've kind of shot the breeze for over 10 minutes now. Let's get into this and talk about the streaming sticks. So the on streaming stick and the on streaming box. Here's what we're gonna do. I want to talk about the differences between the two and whether they're worth it. So both of these are definitely streaming or budget streaming devices. So the streaming stick shown here in this picture, and it's over there on my couch. It goes for $24.88. That's one of those things about Walmart, right? So this is a Walmart branded device, and Walmart is always, they're always about shaving off those extra pennies, right? To make things just that little bit more attractive, more affordable. So instead of $24.99, it's $24.88. The on streaming box goes for $5 more. So $29.88. I'm really on my game today. So $25 or $30, let's just round up. So both definitely budget streaming devices. But if you go watch my review from Wednesday, which I obviously highly encourage you to do, then in fact, I wonder if I can pipe that in. There's got to be a way for me to pipe in that video, but I'll worry about that later. In fact, I know there is. Basically, the Walmart stick and box go like this. The stick is 1080p. The box is 4K. The stick runs Android TV 9.0. The box runs Android TV 10.0. The stick is really, really slow. the box is pretty slow. I think that's fair to say. And so the conclusion I came to is as follows. Let me see if I can pull these up. So basically, the conclusion I came. Oh no, I don't want that. Oh no. Let's get rid of that. Okay, how do I get rid of that? There we go. Yeah, let's. Oh, here we go. Now I know how to do it because I was dumb before. There we go. See, you guys, look, I'm a professional YouTube streamer, okay? So, there we go. All right, now we're looking better. So the conclusion I came to on this was that the streaming stick is good, but the box, or sorry, no, let's reverse those. I'm so bad at this, you guys. How do I go back? Oh, because I was in presenter mode. So yeah, the box gets a check mark. The stick does not. The stick absolutely does not get a checkbox. There we go. Hey, how's that? That's looking a little better. So basically, what I found in my review was it was painful. Like, it was almost literally painful trying to use the on streaming stick. The box, on the other hand, was acceptable. It wasn't like it was a great experience, but it was acceptable. Now we come to some other things that I did not go through in my review, and that's why I've left David's comment up here. Does Walmart have tech support for when they're on, users can't get it to work? I don't know. I didn't try to use it. I imagine they do, but it's terrible. But I don't know. Most of the time, most of the time when I think about like, oh, something didn't work, I mean, you guys probably do this too. I hop on YouTube and I say, hey, like, who's had this problem? So the streaming stick, the on streaming stick, was freezing up, not constantly, but I used it for like a day, and it streamed, so I probably streamed on it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, maybe something like that. And it seized up like 5 times, where it would just freeze in an app. I would have to go unplug it, plug it back in, kind of do that hard reset that way and get it to work. So it was not awesome, but I never did call customer service because I don't know. I just made it work. But it's a great question. So yeah, I'm curious. Has anybody else in the chat right now used these devices? I am curious to hear if you've done it. So let's see. As Richie points out, it's an improved device off the earlier Android-based streaming prototypes. Yeah, there are dozens of Android boxes floating around, and I can't remember the name of all of them. And this one it's basically a reskinned version of a different box, and it's so it wasn't a surprise when it came out, and it was and everybody was like, yeah, you you made a device that only works okay. It works for $25 worth. I would argue not even that. But oh yeah, you know what, Socrates makes a good point. Most tech companies now just have user forms for tech support. Yeah, that's what I see too. Walmart has so many customers. I think it would be very, very difficult for them to field tech support questions. But like I said, I didn't try. Walmart electronics employees should be careful. People might throwing on sticks at them. Yeah. No, I don't think so. So yeah. Okay. So that's the on device. Oh, let's see. Alembic 65. No thoughts on the moral implications of shopping at Walmart. That is outside the purview of our channel for sure. I'm not an economist, not a social scientist. I review streaming devices and services, and Walmart sells one, so I reviewed it. No, I don't have any thoughts on the moral implications. Not that it's a bad question, but just outside my purview at the moment. All right. Oh, John is letting us know it's not budget, but the NVIDIA Shield tube is on sale, $20 off, which is unusual for this device. Oh, that's interesting. Let me see if I can look it up. NVIDIA Shield. Let's see if I can find this deal you're talking about. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and throw that up there. Thank you for the find. That's fantastic. So if you go over to, let's see, I found it just on Amazon here. I'm sure it's available other places as well. This is what he's talking about: the NVIDIA Shield tube. Kind of looks like a cigar box almost. Kind of fits in the palm of your hand. It looks like a cigar box. It's a very good device. And yeah, $129.99. So call it $130. Not a bad deal. So John, thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate it. That's really good. Okay, so Sai says, I think you can use a PS4 as a streaming device. That's true, you can. Hardly a budget device. So let's see. Marshall, go Mariners. All right, I'm going to put every one of these up as they come in. So yes, go Mariners, absolutely. And I also want to point out that Skyward Sword is a highly underrated Zelda title. I'm sure you're playing the HD version that just came out. Okay, let's get back to streaming now. All right, so let's pull our thing back up. What's the next topic for us? Okay, let's go here. All right, let's talk Roku. That's always a popular topic here on this channel. Roku Express versus Roku Express 4K Plus. What I'm curious about, and I love asking you guys these questions and hearing your responses, so please don't be shy. Hit the chat and let me know what your response is to the question, is it worth an extra $5 to get the 4K Plus? Okay, so you get 4K, you get the voice search. So if a few extra features there, basically the upgraded remote plus 4K, is it worth it to you? So let me know in the chat. While you do that, you know what? Yeah, let me know in the chat. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up a poll here. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to create a poll for you guys and throw it in here. Okay. So go ahead and click on that link. And let's see. We've only got a few of you in the chat right now, about 70 of you. But go ahead and pull up that poll. Pull up the poll. And let me know what you think. I like using these responses. Like I said, I like asking these questions in part because, let's make that a little bigger. In part because I like to use this for my future reviews. One of the things that's very tricky about reviewing anything, services or products, whatever, is the old mantra. You might have heard it before if you've ever worked in marketing or advertising. It's remember, you are not your audience, right? And it's nice for me to hear some responses from you guys. You can let me know what you think, and then that lets me know where your mindset is at as well. Sylvia thinks the music is a little distracting. Sorry about that. I'll turn it down a little bit. Something I thought I'd give it a shot. If we decide at the end of it that we don't really like it, then that's fine. But yeah, go ahead, pop in there. While you guys are voting on that, I'm going to pull up something else. Okay. 4K. Okay, how about the Express 4K Plus versus Streaming Stick Plus? All right, the Roku 4K Plus versus Streaming Stick Plus. All right. Were they not refreshing? They should be refreshing. What's my refresh button? Is it F12? Nope. That's there we go. I don't know why it wasn't refreshing. There we go. So let's see. Is it worth the extra $5? Yeah, this is kind of where I'm at too. So interestingly, we've got 4 votes for no, and I don't think this is crazy. Like honestly, a lot of people don't care about 4K, and I totally get that. Like the difference between 1080p and 4K isn't that huge, like to the naked eye, right? So 4K might not be that big of a draw, and a lot of people just don't use voice search, and so I don't. So I don't think that's crazy at all to say that no, it's not worth the extra $5. I'll save my money and not use the features that I wasn't going to use anyway. So, yeah, it's weird that the poll results weren't updating. Somebody remind me, what's my Chrome hotkey for refreshing a page? It's F something. Oh, Control F5. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got some people voting. That's good. Let's see what happens if I hit Control F5. We're okay. Live experimenting on the internet is always a dicey proposition. All right, so yeah, I think most of you are with me here, but like I said, it's not crazy to want to save your $5. So this is an interesting thing. It's like these people spending an extra $500 to get 4K on a 13-inch laptop. Bad news is your eyes can't tell the difference. Yeah, and so this is something that gets if you ever go to CES, this gets drilled into you a lot. If you go to enough TV booths, they're showing off 8K TVs and more lately. But anyway, 8K TVs are going to be the next thing, and you kind of get the person at the booth to be real with you for a second. You're like, seriously, 8K? And they're like, yeah, if you've got a TV that's 75 inches or more, then it makes a difference. But like if you're walking around, you got your phone, you're watching TV on your phone, 4K doesn't matter, 8K doesn't matter, 1080p, 1080p is about as much as you would need to do. I'm not saying it makes no difference, but I'm just saying the difference from 1080 to 4K on a phone is so undetectable and minuscule that it's just not really a thing. Okay, man, I should wear my Mariners shirt more often. Man, you guys are big Seattle fans around here. All right. It's Roku Express. You can watch some YouTube videos of the Skyward Sword game. There you go. All right, where are we at? Came from a okay, interesting. So I am curious. Came from a 1080p screen to a 4K HDR10, and I can tell. So you mean like right now? Yeah, I'm curious what you mean by that and what you're watching on. Like I said, on the TV, it probably makes a difference. Otherwise, maybe not quite as much. Okay, so I think we are good to say that that on this one, most people are saying, yeah, let's go ahead and the $5 extra for the 4K plus is worth it, right? I think that's fair to say that's where we're at. It's interestingly the new Roku Express 4K Plus. I haven't even had a chance to use it yet. There's a little peek behind the curtain. I have not had a chance to use it because Roku was supposed to send me a tester device, and they never did. So I need to send them another email. AK is a status symbol. So many things are. Did you ever see the movie Wall Street, where Gordon Gekko is on the beach and he has one of the one of the world's first cell phones. He's carrying this thing around on the beach and he's lugging it around like it's like a satellite phone. He's got this big thing and he's got to plop it down. And he's got the giant phone, but it's a status symbol. I can talk on the phone on the beach. I'm working at the beach. But that was like in the 80s, right? 80s? Early 90s, maybe. It was the 80s, I think. Gordon Gekko using the cell phone. And now, of course, all of us, with some exceptions, I'm sure, but all of us have a phone attached to our hips at all times. So what was a status symbol now is a necessity. And who knows, 8K may be something like that. Anyway, speaking of which, I'm really excited to go to space. All the billionaires are flying off to space, and it's this big status symbol. Great. that's fine, as long as one day I get to go to space. I really want to go to space. So the status symbol becomes the necessity. Looking forward to that one. All right. This is a good question. Can you even buy a non-4K TV anymore? So this is a relevant question, because if somebody is going to buy a Roku and they're like, I'm not going to, I don't want to spend the extra $5 because my thing doesn't even handle 4K. My TV doesn't handle 4K. Yes, there are TVs out there that are not 4K. Most of them are very small. So 32 inches and below. Maybe you get a 27-inch or a 21-inch TV, whatever. And some of them are still 1080p TVs. So yes, they do exist. And so that's one reason why, even though I've got the Red X on there, somebody might say, yeah, it's worth it to me to just grab the regular version. Because the thing about, oh shoot, no, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's the music. Somebody said that Sylvia was saying the music is distracting. Maybe it's distracting my brain. That's very possible. Okay. Let's do the next one. All right. So this one, and okay, we're going to use this to talk about the next issue when it comes to budget streaming devices and whether they're worth it. The Fire Stick versus the Fire Stick 4K. Hit me with your best shot. What are your thoughts on Fire Stick versus Fire Stick 4K? Here's my thing. And this is true of the Roku Express. Let's see. Can I? No? Yeah, this is true of the Roku Express. It's true of the On Stick versus the On Box. Basically, what it comes down to is if you've got a 4K device versus a regular device, the hardware capabilities needed to run 4K on that device are such that the device will be faster. It's going to have more RAM. It's going to have a faster processor, generally speaking. And this is certainly true of the Fire Stick versus the Fire Stick 4K. So which one should you get? In my mind, and this would go for the Roku Express as well. Like I said, it's not crazy to say, you know what, I just want to save the $5. Or over here, I want to save the $5 and just get the stick versus the box. Not crazy, but the devices are so slow. The Roku Express, especially the ones that I used to use, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, when I was before they had the new version come out, the Roku Express was so slow, it was painful to use. It's very difficult to type out a password or an email address on it. It's going to be a very similar thing with the Fire Stick and the Fire Stick 4K. And so that's one of my main considerations. It may not be about using the 4K capabilities necessarily, but it may be about the speed of the device and not driving yourself absolutely crazy trying to use it. Okay. While that is up, okay. So, you know what? I'm gonna put up another poll, because it's fun. All right. Which Fire Stick or the Fire Stick 4K? So, like I said, I've given you my thoughts, but what are your thoughts? Hit up this poll, and it's going to be which Fire Stick you think is worth it. Should you go for the 4K or just stick with the regular Fire Stick? I'm seeing some 4K comments in the chat already. So I'm guessing, I'm guessing you guys are probably going to be where I'm at with this, but we'll see. While you're doing that, that's what I was going to do. While you're doing that, let me just remind you again. For those who just joined, make sure you go here. I've put it up in the corner here. Go to the giveaways page, because this week we're giving away the on-streaming stick and the on-streaming box. So a couple of winners. I think it's set up for 2 winners. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure. Check the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details. No, that's not a thing. Go to that page. And enter to win those ones. So as I put it in the video earlier this week where I reviewed the on box and on stick, One lucky winner is going to get the on box, and one winner is going to be lucky enough to confirm whether I was right that the stick is not very good. but you know, with something like with those boxes, is that going to work? There we go. Oh, where are you guys? Oh, is it not? Is it not working? Is my Did I not give you the link? Let me make sure I give you the link. Oh, I never actually put it in the chat. Oh, that was boy, I'm dropping the ball here. So yeah, please go and vote. Let me know what you think. Fire Stick versus Fire Stick 4K. Now we'll be able to run this poll and see what happens with people. So yeah, go vote. Fire Stick is an interesting one because usually they're about $10 difference. You can get the regular Fire Stick for usually $35-$40, and then the Fire Stick 4K for between 40 and 50, somewhere in there. You know, it's Amazon. They've always got some deal going on. Yeah, it looks like you guys are largely with me here. Sylvia, the poll, I just linked to the poll. Sorry, I didn't hit the enter button. So, so now I'm giving away prizes as a form of revenge. That's right. I'm punishing you all for watching my reviews. No, that reminds me. That's the other thing I was going to say is that with these cheap devices, sometimes, okay, let's say in my house, we're a Roku family. I mean, that's been true for a long time. It's less true now than it used to be. But let's say you've got a bunch of devices, you know, a bunch of TVs that all need to run devices. Well, then you may not care. Like, okay, so my dad, when I finally got my dad to cut the cord, they've got a bunch of Fire TV devices and TVs and you know, the works. But they've got, let's see, they've got a TV, the main TV in the living room, or the family room, I guess, whatever you call that thing. He's got one in his home office, one in the garage. Mom's got one in the bedroom. There's one in the kitchen. I think that covers them all. So yeah, there's like 5 TVs scattered throughout the house. And I think a lot of houses are like this, especially, you know, especially for my parents' generation, you know, just TV. You have the TV, you've got it for the noise, you've got it for the entertainment, whatever, and they're all over the house. And if that's the case, you know, and you're buying 5 devices, well, let's say 4 of them are devices you're not going to use quite so often, and you're saving $10 per device. Like that adds up, right? So you might get a really fancy device for for your main TV, and then kind of scatter the cheaper ones throughout. So that's another good reason, I think, to get cheaper budget devices. Let's see where we're at with this. 12 votes, yeah, 12-2. Fire Stick 4K. All right, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. And yeah, and this is your values are pretty much in line with mine, it seems, at this point, where the slightly better version of a budget streaming device is going to be worth a little bit of extra money, right? I think that's fair to say. That's basically where we're all at. All right. So yeah, please go to Reviews.org/giveaways. Enter the giveaways, bookmark the page. All right. Do we have any more? Yeah, I think. Oh, that's right. We talked about the Tivo Stream 4K. Oh boy. All right. So this is one where there is no other version of the device. It's just the device itself, the Tivo Stream 4K. Do I have? I don't have the actual device. I do have the remote on my desk here. Where is the device? Oh, well. I will say this for the Tivo Stream 4K. I love the remote. Almost. The only weird thing about the remote, because it's Tivo and because they kind of they want this to be your universal device and all that, they've got the number pad at the bottom, which I don't like. But otherwise, I do like this device. I like the way it feels. It's got a lot of heft to it. The this directional pad is kind of a rubber. It's a grippy rubber or silicone, whatever. So it feels very nice. It's got a good shape on the bottom. Yeah, it feels great. So I really like their remote, and I like their interface. I just liked the Chromecast one a little bit better. So the Tivo Stream. Oh, okay. So Steven says this one is your daily driver. Let's see. What did I forgot, Marshall? If I forgot something, I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Too busy with the music. Should we cut the music? We'll cut the music for now. All right. Somebody said you're too busy with the music. Where was that? Oh well. Okay. So the Tivo Stream 4K, I think, is a fantastic device. I gave it a very positive review. The only problem with this one is that it came out just before the Chromecast, the new Chromecast did, and the Chromecast was even better. Both good, but the Chromecast was even better. Oh, okay. Sorry, Marshall. I missed what you were talking about. Fire Stick Lite is a decent budget device. Also, you know, that's a good call out. Let's pull up the Fire Stick Lite. Fire Stick Lite. Where are you? There you are. So if we pull up, I'm just pulling up the Fire Stick Lite so you guys can kind of see it. This is a good call out. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so the Fire Stick Lite goes for what, $30. The thing about this one, it's got no TV controls. It does do HD. I don't think it does 4K. I think it does 1080p. Yeah, it's got a lot of good ratings. But it's because it's a light device. I mean, they're saving money, so they're saving money on the chipset. They're saving money on the the RAM, the processor. It's slow, so it's been a minute since I used it, but I remember thinking, man, it's slow, like so many things. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, that's a good call out. Fire Stick Lite. Okay, so now that we, I will say, let me pull this back up here. Let's pull up the Tivo Stream 4K again. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give that one a check mark because I do really like it. I think it's gotten cheaper and cheaper because it wasn't very popular, unfortunately, for Tivo. It wasn't very popular, so the price kept dropping. I think it's down to like $35 now, something like that. It started at 50, and they said, "Hey, everybody, buy it now because we're going to raise the price to 70 at some point." They never did that, presumably because they wanted to, actually sell devices, and it's great, but it's not a $70 box. But anyway, it never really took off, and so the price has come down a little bit. So with something like the Tivo Stream 4K, the only caveat that I would put on that one would be that the device support might not be there down the road. So if you don't like to replace your devices, if you buy one and you're like, I want to be using this 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then it may not have the same level of longevity as something like a Chromecast or like an Apple TV, but that's not budget. But Roku's, to a certain extent, it was years before they stopped supporting the first and second gen Roku's. So that's my only concern. I don't know what Tivo's going to do with that, but it's a thing that I think about sometimes. And maybe you should too. Okay, last one. The Chromecast with Google TV. All right, this is the one where, as I put this one on here, I knew I was kind of pushing it a bit. Because the Chromecast with Google TV, it retails Chromecast with Google TV. Last time I looked, it was at like, it's still $50. Still $50. So that's why I say this one's pushing it a little bit. $50, is that our cutoff? You know, depending on where you live, you might have to pay taxes. It could be, you know, up to $55, whatever. What? What? I try not to make it a sports cast. I just love the Mariners so much. Okay. Let's see, Marshall. I haven't forgotten your comment. I'm just not talking about the NVIDIA Shield at the moment. So let's keep talking about the Chromecast. That's the problem with the chat, you guys. You guys distract me with the chat all the time. Okay, so the Chromecast came out just after the Tivo Stream 4K. It came out last October, November, somewhere in there, something like that, and really just blew me away. Fantastic device, really great interface. They did a great job with the recommendations algorithm, with the smoothness of the interface. It's a very speedy device. Yeah, it's very nice for a lot of reasons. One of the caveats that I put on this device is that the operating system is so robust and so nice that it takes up most of the device's storage. And this is going to be true for a lot of devices, but you know, as far as the operating system being the largest program you have on there, that's fine, and that's how it goes. But I ran into trouble when I started, you know, I wanted to download more than 10, 15, 20 channels, streaming channels. I kind of wasn't able to do that on the Chromecast. It had a hard time. So, but yeah, other than that, that's a problem where I wasn't, like I was saying earlier, I love doing these streams because I can bounce ideas off you and see where your guys' heads are at. Because I don't know, like that may be a problem that only I come across because I'm doing these videos where I'm, you know, top 10 this and you know, delete these channels and top 10 free this and paid that. And after a while, I'm like, oh, okay, I've got 120 streaming channels on my device. That's a lot. So anyway, Google with Chrome, or Chromecast with Google TV. Yeah, I can get that right. Definitely, in my mind, it's a definite check mark. The only question is whether this really counts as a budget device, and I think that's debatable. If you say $50 isn't a budget device, I believe you. But yeah, there you go. Marshall, I can't spam the screen with your comments the whole time as much as I want to. Okay, so oh boy, I will say, okay, so Jep Nest, if you have Windows OS on laptop or desktop, just download the My IPTV player. Blah, blah, blah. So last week I had a really great discussion with Jared Newman from Tech Hive. He does his own cord cutting newsletter. It's fantastic. He's a contributing writer over at Tech Hive. We talked a lot about IPTV services and why we don't really talk about them much in our respective spheres. And why, generally speaking, we don't recommend them to at least to most users. But it's good thought. It's good thought. But yeah, generally speaking, I don't recommend what is often known as IPTV services. I mean, technically, any streaming service is an IPTV service, but it's not usually what is meant by that. So. All right, where are we at? Chromecast with Google TV. I think that one's a pretty clear check mark. So here's what we're going to do now. Let's get rid of that because I'm going to do some more polls. And we're going to do. All right, we're going to do some best ofs here. So we've got, and you know, here's what we'll do. I'm going to leave it to brand names first, and then we'll drill down in a moment. So we'll say we've got Roku, we've got Fire Stick, we've got Chromecast, what is it? Tivo Stream 4K, and then we'll do the on. devices. Okay, so I'm going to create this poll. I will remember to actually hit the enter button. So go forth, vote like the wind. Let me know here. Let's pull it up here. We've got the Roku, Fire Stick, Chromecast, Tivo Stream 4K, or on device. Which one would you either be most likely to buy yourself, or if someone came to you and said, okay. Oh, it looks like the link didn't work on Facebook. Sorry about that. You should pop over to YouTube. Let me know which one you would recommend to somebody who came to you and said, "Hey, I want to cut the cord. I don't want to spend a bunch. I just want to try this out. I want to get one of these budget devices." Which one are you going to point them toward? Marshall, I'm not forgetting about the NVIDIA Shield. It's just not a budget device, so we can forget it for now. Okay. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do we have any? Oh, all right. So, you know what? I shouldn't have put Roku first. There's the old psychological trick. You put whatever you want to win, you put first, and people vote for it. So that's my bad. Roku's kind of in some ways, people would say the obvious choice. So I shouldn't have put it first. But I'm interested that nobody has voted for the Chromecast yet. No Chromecast votes. Let me put the. Let me get that URL. I'll put this on here. Those who have watched my streams or watched my videos before probably have heard my spiel on Roku and versus other devices. Okay, so here we've got some Chromecast votes. We got some Fire Stick, Tivo Stream. My thing is, everything else is complicated compared to the Roku. As far as finding your way around the interface, pulling up apps, navigating, recommendations. You're getting recommendations on all these other things, especially the Chromecast, the Fire Stick. You're getting recommendations a lot, which is great. But if I'm handing this to a brand new cord cutter, where it's like, okay, now you're going to watch stuff on Netflix and you're going to watch stuff on Disney Plus, you're going to watch stuff on Hulu, then the nice thing about Roku is it just gives you that tile layout, right? So there's no mystery to navigating it. You're never like, oh wait, if I press this button, which app is it going to take me to? You don't have to worry about any of that. It's very, very clear, super simple. So for a first timer, if I'm getting them a budget streamer, I think I'm probably with you guys. I would say Roku, but if it's somebody who has been around the block a little bit when it comes to streaming, then my vote would probably go to the Chromecast. But that's just me. Roku's idiot proof. That's probably why I like it, right? It's just so simple. Let's see. Well, first of all, hello, Stephen. Glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Interesting. Sai says some LG TVs don't have Bluetooth capability. Okay, here's this. So the frugal audiophile, which I wish I was frugal. I've got half of that for myself. Love the Roku Express 4K Plus. I only wish they had built-in Ethernet and fiber optic output. That's a great point. That's one thing that your typical budget device won't do is Ethernet or the optic audio outlets. So if you want that, then yeah, you're going to have to get the Roku Ultra. I think does the NVIDIA Shield have the optical audio port? I can't remember. But yeah, that is definitely a consideration. So for somebody named the frugal audiophile, I kind of want to know what your thoughts are on HDMI versus optical audio. Okay. Let's see. The music is back. Let's turn that off. Okay. let's let's refresh this one more time, see where you guys ended up. Definitely Roku is winning, but yeah, Chromecast got a few votes in there. I think I would not. I don't think I would recommend the on devices to anyone. If they were looking for the absolute cheapest device out there, I'd probably still point them toward the Roku Express. But hey, maybe that's just me. But yeah, thanks for voting, everybody. All right, let's do a few more minutes. Hit me with any questions you've got. Now I can get to stuff about the NVIDIA Shield. Yeah, we'll worry about it. We might drill down on this poll later, but for now, it looks like your guys' favorite budget streaming devices are going to be Roku's, and that's same for me. So. Dynalink. Daniel says Dynalink is super cheap. Also, that's true. Like I was saying earlier, when it comes to these budget devices, there are lots of them out there. It's actually a little bit like the IPTV services we were talking about last week when I had the conversation with Jared, where with if you're unfamiliar, IPTV services, they're live TV streaming services. As is Hulu with live TV or YouTube TV or whatever. But these ones are usually very cheap. You can get them for, 15, 20 bucks a month, usually about 20 bucks a month. And you get tons and tons of channels, but they are, sorry, let me put that back up. But these IPTV services are probably not going to last. They're flagrantly illegal, as far as what they're doing, how they're putting the content out there. They're usually very illegal, and so they get shut down. And so if you're subscribed to one of them, oh crap, well, now I've got to find another one to subscribe to and learn their crappy interface. And with a lot of these budget devices, that's kind of how I often feel about them. Dynalink, I will say, I don't mean to call out Dynalink by name, because I haven't actually used a Dynalink device in I don't know how long. But there are a lot of budget streaming devices that you can get for 20 bucks or 25 bucks. But then software support runs out. Whatever company produced it goes under. It just becomes a brick. And like the on devices, I don't have it here. The on devices are so light, they're not even paperweights. They literally would not work as paperweights. So, anyway, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with those. Okay, let me see if you guys had any questions that we need to address before I call it for today. When you pick the on winners, will you be sending them out with an apology? No, not necessarily, because even if it was slow, it's if somebody can find a use for it, I'm happy. I'm not going to use it in my arsenal of streaming devices. I'll never plug it back in, but that's just because I've got the Chromecast, because I've got the Fire Stick 4K, I've got other devices that I can use. I've got the Apple TV, for heaven's sake, so for me, no, I'm not going to use it. But like I was saying earlier, somebody like my dad who has 5 TVs scattered around the house, and he needs to get Android TV on just one of them, the one in the garage that he uses every once in a while, then yeah, hey, why not? Yeah, just throw the $25 streamer on there, and it'll work. So no, I'm not going to send it out with an apology. So go check out the giveaways. Reviews.org/giveaways. Make sure you are signed up for that. Yeah, well, let's see. Poor me, can't afford an Ultra. I understand. Let's see. I wouldn't buy a Fire TV stick if you don't have an Amazon Prime subscription. Absolutely. Same thing would go for an Apple TV. Like, Apple TV is great, especially with the new remote. The old remote is terrible. This one, if you guys remember, the one with the trackpad on the top, terrible remote. But the device itself, it's very quick. It's, good layout. I like a lot about it, but unless you are really invested in the Apple ecosystem, I usually don't recommend it. So Chromecast has Duo. If you use Duo a lot, then that is a draw for sure. Okay, so Marshall finally gets his due. Marshall is a huge NVIDIA Shield fan, and this this goes. This is a great illustration of something that I've noticed after 5 years. Wow, 5 years of covering streaming TV, which is that if you think Apple fans are fanish, fanatical, then they've got nothing on NVIDIA Shield fans. Boy, I'll tell you, it's the Shield cult it's a real thing. And don't get me wrong, it's a great device. I'm making fun, but yeah, people who love their NVIDIA Shield love their NVIDIA Shield. So that's great. Okay, so this is a great question from Socrates. Fantastic question. Seems like a lot of new questions and devices, new channels. Seems like a lot of new channels and devices were rolled out last year. Anything new coming, or are things really slowing down? So a very good question, and the answer is yes. Things are slowing down, but it's not going to stop. I think the device market still has a lot of churn left to go. Oh boy, this is where we get into predictions, and I hesitate to make them right now on the spot because I do want to think about it a little bit before I make a big prediction that may or may not come true. Because I got to keep my streak alive. Up to this point, I'm always right. Go buy your mug today. It's a very nice mug. Get Reviews.org. Craig is always right. Go buy your mug. There's probably a link below me on YouTube. Okay, so where are we? Are things really slowing down? Yes, they are, because the biggest studios out there now have their own streaming services. Whether it's Paramount Plus or Discovery Plus, Disney Plus. Man, there's a lot of pluses out there. Who else? I mean, Netflix. Netflix is a huge. What's the word I just used? A studio now. Amazon itself, they're producing their own shows. I am indescribably excited for The Wheel of Time later this year on Amazon, on Amazon Prime. The Lord of the Rings show should be interesting. We'll see where that goes. But they all have their own services now. What's interesting to me is that so far it hasn't entirely been a situation where they're all completely siloed from each other, because they're all still making money off of each other licensing titles. And so Warner Brothers owns the Harry Potter franchise. So they should all be on HBO Max, right? Because that's the Warner Brothers the streaming service. But they licensed Harry Potter out to Peacock. Am I getting that right? Peacock has all the Harry Potter movies right now. So it's interesting how there's still, some cross-pollination going on. But yeah, they all still have they all now have their own streaming services. And so it will slow down. We're going to not see as many big channel releases streaming service releases. All right. Fire stick to a new person, says George. And like somebody else said, if they are an Amazon Prime subscriber, then yeah. Okay. Just go with the Apple TV 4K. Nothing is better unless you don't really have any other Apple devices like me. I've got an iPad. I do have an iPad, but that's about it. Okay, so what device do I find myself using most often? And Sylvia, I like your question too. I'll come to that in just a moment. What device do I find myself using most often? Oh, the remote's over there. The new Chromecast is, let me see if I can, this one, the Chromecast with Google TV. So as I said, the TV right over my shoulder here is, it's a Roku TV. And so if I log in, oftentimes I will just use that one to pull up Netflix or MLB TV or whatever I'm watching that day. But with the Roku device, or with the Roku TV, it actually has more of a tendency to freeze up than my Chromecast does. Doesn't do it often. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's a huge problem with Roku, but it does happen. Or certain apps will get glitchy on the Roku app or on the Roku platform. So Disney Plus, I've had some trouble sometimes where I go to play something on the Roku side of things, and I get a green screen of death and have to do a hard reboot. I do not have that problem with the Chromecast. It just flat out works. The only thing on this TV that the reason I use Roku over this is that it's built right in. I don't need another remote. I can just sit down, use one remote, get wherever I need to go. And so I think there are already, or there are about to be, some TVs, maybe it's later this year, TVs with Google TV built right in. So you get this remote, and it works just like a Roku TV or a Fire TV. The TVs with Fire TV built in. And so when they do that, when those are readily available on good TVs, with this Google TV platform, that'll 100% be my daily driver. But that's a good question. Okay, so can you say the over $50 streamers? So this is a good one. We've been talking a lot about budget ones. A lot of the same brands that we saw already are going to be on this list, but other than those, well, okay. Let's start with those. We got Roku. So Roku Streaming Stick Plus still kind of works into this budget list. It usually goes for $45 or $50. Sometimes you can find it on sale for a little bit less, but the Roku Streaming Stick Plus, and the Roku Ultra. Let's just go ahead and skip straight to the Ultra. I think there's one more in between them, but it doesn't matter. The Roku Ultra, usually you can get it for $90 or $100. And that one is going to be, it's got all the bells and whistles. So one of my favorite features on it is this tiny little thing. It's got a button on top of the device, the box. It's a lost remote finder. So you push that and your remote starts beeping. So if it's under the couch cushions or the dog took it in the other room, whatever, you can find your remote really easily, which I think is a great feature. It's also got the optical audio port that I was talking about with the Frugal audio file. And some people prefer that optical audio port. Do they still have it on the Ultra? I'm pretty sure they do. But it also has an Ethernet port so that you can actually hardwire it to your internet and be sure that you'll never see a buffering wheel, if you've got good internet. It's just got all the bells and whistles, the nicest remote, et cetera, et cetera. So the Roku Ultra is a fantastic device. The Apple TV 4K retails for, what's it right now, 180 or so, something like that. If you're an Apple person, then it fits very nicely into your ecosystem. If you're not, then maybe you don't need to worry about it. And the NVIDIA Shield. Let's see, we showed that one earlier. It's going for $130 on Amazon right now. Usually it's $150 or $200. There's two different versions of the NVIDIA Shield. Both great. Both run Android TV. Both very quick devices, and I still wouldn't recommend them unless you're a power user. The NVIDIA Shield is definitely, the reason you're paying a premium for it is because of the extra bells and whistles, like screen sharing. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card in your PC, then you can cast that really easily to your TV, and you can do some pretty fancy stuff with it. Generally, I don't. If somebody's looking for a premium device, they can save a little bit, get the Roku Ultra. They're going to get, the 4K, the hardwiring, all that stuff. But if you are a power user, the NVIDIA Shield is really, really good. Or a gamer. All right. Which should I buy for my kids? And then the On TV from Walmart or the Roku Streaming Stick? Get the Roku Streaming Stick. Yes. Get the Roku Streaming Stick for your kids. Let's see. Does Android... It depends. I guess, how old are your kids? I need to go back and bone up on Android TV's parental controls. On the Roku, the Roku itself doesn't do parental controls like on different apps, but within the apps you can turn on parental controls. So I would still go with the Roku just for the sake of simplicity. Oh boy, I missed a bunch. I missed a bunch of things. I apologize. Is the Sling Air TV dongle a rebranded Tivo Stream 4K? Not that I know of. The Air TV dongle, which is a great word, right? Whoever came up with the word dongle really knocked that one out of the park. The Air TV, I don't believe so. They were making the Air TV came out. The original Air TV box came out in 2016. It was not great, but it existed. And my point just being, they've been making devices for far longer than Tivo has, at least as far as streamers. Obviously, Tivo's been around for a long time, but let's see. If you need story ideas, a comparison of using all the streaming services on a computer versus streaming devices would be awesome. So, so you're thinking like Netflix, Hulu, whatever. I'd be curious to hear more about what you think about that. All right, we're going to start wrapping this up here. I'm trying to see which ones I need to address. The Fire Cube. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Daniel. That's a great. So somebody was asking, Sylvia, I think, was asking about the non-budget devices. The Fire Cube is essentially it's a Fire Stick 4K married to, or like joined with an Echo Dot. Because it doesn't even have the speaker capability of an Echo Dot. I don't particularly like the Fire Cube just because I think it's extraneous. Like, you're paying extra money for something that's not. It just doesn't really work for me. So basically, the Fire Cube, and I need to look up the price again. Actually, let's do that. So I make sure I'm not spreading false doctrine here. Fire TV Cube on Amazon. Wow. On Amazon, they sell it for $120. They've got it for $80 in certain places, Target and Kohl's. But okay, so let's say it's $80 versus the Fire Stick 4K. How much are they selling that for these days? Oh my gosh, you can get the Fire Stick 4K for $25. All right, where this discussion is over. I didn't realize they dropped the price quite that low. Last time I looked, it was like $35. So the Fire Stick 4K is $25, and if you get an Echo Dot 4th Gen Echo Dot for $25, so if you want a Fire Cube, basically the Fire Cube, like I say, is a Fire Stick plus an Echo Dot put together. You're going to pay at least $80 for that. Maybe $120 if you go actually through Amazon. Versus buy the Fire Stick 4K for $25 and an Echo Dot for $25, and you're going to get a better device, a better streaming device, in my opinion, and an Echo device that will have better sound and clarity and all that stuff. So yeah, thank you, Daniel. I did forget about that one, but I guess that's probably because somewhere subconsciously I've just put that one out of my mind. I don't think about the Fire Cube anymore because I don't like it. Okay. So let's see. Brian Sutton, thank you for supporting the channel. Love it. And yeah, we'll end on this. I kind of talked about this a few moments ago. Right now, my favorite streaming device is the Chromecast with Google TV. It's just a great all-rounder. It runs on Android TV, so I can't think of anything that any big services or streaming channels that it doesn't carry. I think you can get pretty much everything on there, and yeah, that's my favorite right now. Other devices have their charms, their pros, but this one, as far as the intersection between quality and price, as far as I'm concerned, the new Chromecast is it. So, okay, so Joshua says, let's see, you won the giveaway 2 weeks ago, received an email, I haven't received it. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little while for things to be sent out. I appreciate you bringing that up, and I will let the back end people know that hasn't arrived yet. Make sure that's going out to you, but that's a good reminder for people to go to the giveaways page. Go to reviews.org/giveaways. This week we are doing the on streaming stick and on streaming box. Last week we did a giveaway for the Wise Cam 2, and that one went to Tom Reeves, or it will be going to Tom Reeves. So we'll send an email out to you, Tom. Hope you're watching. And gosh, what else was I going to say? Yeah, everybody go check out the giveaways page. And let's see, Craig for vice president. I don't know about that. That sounds like an awful, awful job. Truly terrible. Just terrible. So yeah, as Joshua says, enter. You could win. And Joshua, I appreciate your patience on that. That's great. So I'm going to call it there. As you can hear, my voice is starting to give out. I'm regressing back toward puberty. And I don't want to regress too far. I'm starting to squeak it out. So we'll call it for today. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry about the distracting music earlier. We'll bring it back for 30 seconds. But you know what? Maybe I'll find some other better music for the stream. This is kind of like a pop music playlist that I found to throw on there. And we'll see if I can find something better, because I like having a little music in the background. It's nice. If I ever have to stop talking for a second, it's nice if it's not totally silent. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about, but I do know we're going to be giving more stuff away. So stay tuned. Come back next Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And if I missed any of your questions or comments, then I apologize for that. Unless it was about the NVIDIA Shield, then then I don't. So yeah, thanks everybody. See you next time.